all the honorable members, and I want to repeat,
A powerful majority is on the rise with a particular vision for Kenya.
They have violated our constitution and we want that to change.
Reject finance bill! Reject!
They recently briefly seized control of parliament and set part of it ablaze.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm here to address you.
By now, we have nothing to lose.
They are saying no to bad leadership.
I concede, and therefore I will not sign, and it shall subsequently be withdrawn.
And the lie persists, Mr. Speaker.
It was a revolution that was first ignored by those in power.
Some of the photos that we were seeing out of the streets,
They thought it could not happen,
that they do not belong to this country.
but it did happen here in Kenya.
I am a photo expert, Mr. Speaker.
This is the Gen Z revolution.
He's the only one who can bring clinker. He's the only one who can do cement.
Nairobi City is known for being the administrative and political center of Kenya.
while the president has the mind of his own, it is this house that dictates.
Whatever happens in the capital greatly affects the East African nation.
How can we face such a crisis, Mr. Speaker? Up to this particular point, I don't know what the Inspector General thinks. I don't know what is the challenge.
We gave you the entry. We are going to show you the exit. Mr. President! Mr. President! Watch us!
June 2024. A bold and new generation of young Kenyan protesters emerge on the streets of Nairobi.
Reject that! Reject!
They are mostly young men and women willing to die for good governance.
His team or his administration has had this sense of being very arrogant.
If we disappear, our voices shall remain.
What started as anger on TikTok and X and other social media platforms morphed into a revolt.
The question is, if the president or if the members of parliament decided that they are not going to debate this finance bill, from today onwards, are the youths, are the people on the streets going to stop? Are they going? Will they go home? I don't think so. I think the finance bill is just a trigger of our population and people who are very angry and continue to be very angry. One, because of even the lies.
This is Shakira Wafula.
Finally,
Nice
Shakira herself.
Ndio mimi.
Parliament,
Tutafika. Na tulifika.
She's a fitness coach.
I do personal training, some group classes for gym, but I'm also currently pursuing a degree in exercise and sports science.
And this is Joshua Okaya, the president of the Kenya School of Law Students' Council.
My name is Joshua Okaya. I am a lawyer.
They were among thousands of people who were on the streets of major cities and towns in Kenya. They are against the government's efforts to increase taxes to help pay Kenya's huge foreign debt.
The finance bill of 2024. What was in it that made Kenyans angry?
You know, if you look at the finance bill, and I think what hit us the most was the fact that the finance bill was adding a 16% tax on bread.
Bread, mukate.
Yeah, something that was initially zero rated. Bread, mukate ni kitu. Mukate is just like a representation of the normal food, common food, common mwananchi.
It's a rebellion not led by politicians and with no identifiable leaders who can easily be isolated, intimidated, bribed, or co-opted.
Our movement was and is amorphous, all right? You don't know where it comes from. You don't know where it originates. Really, that was the design. And what I can say is that all the Gen Zs was leaders. Everyone was a leader in their own capacity.
So there was no one who was like a figurehead in this mobilization?
Yes, and that's why you see the term leaderless, faceless, tribeless coming up. Because I think that's also confusing for the current politicians, because they're used to, if something comes up, there's somebody specific behind it.
Not just specific, but Raila Odinga.
Exactly. And in fact, Raila, if you check at this time, I think he only spoke once when this young lady referred to him on video, and he said he's a proud father. And that's all he said. So for us, it came from a point of rage, from a point of being tired, from a point of knowledge that as a country we are capable of so much more. But these people in politics have laid a fence hindering us from moving on to the next level as a country.
Generally, it's misrepresentation. It's leaders forgetting why they were voted in. It's the rampant corruption. It's the fact that people are passing bills that they have no clue what they entail. They are not reading these documents. They are just basically following party leadership and party direction. So it was a reminder to leadership as to what they're supposed to be doing in that house and to respect the power of the people.
So what do you want? If someone asks you, what do you want?
A change. Government to change. They need to change their behavior. They need to have accountability. We need leaders of integrity. Those who have cases against them to drop off. Offices that are unconstitutional to be removed, for them to follow court orders. There are so many things that they have done, that they have violated our constitution, and we want that to change. It's a disgrace that it has continued for this long.
Issues of people in public offices displaying lavish lifestyles. And of course, they are just giving those, funny statements before our own eyes and telling us how expensive their watches are, their belts, their shirts and everything, and telling us how they go to expensive dates and expensive tours abroad. So it was a whole, compilation of vices that resulted to now going to the streets to agitate for economic liberation.
The public display of wealth and opulence, unless members of the public can quickly see where you've gotten it, they will not be happy.
We want to reject the wastefulness of the members of parliament who do not represent us, the illegality of the offices that have been put up in place and they are not constitutional.
Which offices are you talking about?
I'm talking about one that I take personally offensive is the wives of the president, of the vice president, of the prime cabinet secretary, of which that office is not even constitutional in the first place. And I believe when Kenyans were putting these people in place, we only had pictures of them and not their spouses. And if anything, these spouses are not even working towards anything, towards the betterment of Kenyans.
And we have seen even the price or the amount going toward luxurious cars almost tripling. Spouses can do things. They have every right to contribute to society, but they can fundraise on their own. They can form their own foundation and fundraise on their own. They do not have to use taxpayers' monies to be able to want to give back to society. That they are not the ones that we elected. We elected their spouses, not them.
It is organized through the public square of contemporary youth communication and engagement, social media that cannot be easily manipulated. These protesters, who feel Kenyans are already overtaxed with little to show for it, brave tear gas lobbed by police to march through the capital, Nairobi, bringing the city's central district to a standstill. Mary Mawako says the Gen Zs are not just mere protesters, they are also content producers and distributors.
The organizing was very much online in terms of messaging members of parliament. I know one who said he got up to 20,000 messages, and he had to travel. He had to actually travel to Embu and see, is this a bot being used to text me with different numbers, so it looks like a lot of people. And he said he went to each and every single ward in his constituency, and he would just randomly talk to people and ask them about their finance bill. And he said he could not find a single yes. And that's what just made him, travel back to Nairobi, and that's how he voted no.
Every part of their intense confrontations with police officers is captured and live streamed on their smartphones.
We are not going anywhere. We are rejecting the finance bill. Parliament should have
Something seen as a game changer as far as mobilization was concerned.
The fence I was holding on to is the fence of Cardinal Otunga Plaza. So it's that street just before the last roundabout you get to Parliament. So to be honest, at that specific point in time, I was taking